Hello everyone, my name is Nathaniel Clark and welcome to the final part on my 4-part series about Canon Literature and New Literacies. In this portion, I will be talking about how to teach with new literacies. As I previously stated in these aforementioned videos, this series has been made for my CI EDTHP AFAM 492 class, which is taught by Dr. Staples Dixon. Here we have my roadmap again. As you can see, today we're talking about working in new literacies and how to involve new literacies into the curriculum. As I mentioned in the previous video, I talked about how new literacies involves bringing in socio-political and current contexts into the classroom. It's really giving a voice to the voiceless in the Western literary canon. However, there is also a focus on social media and the digital age, which actually plays directly into the first thing I want to talk about, which is the development of digital literacy. In my view, this goes heavily with the ideals of critical thinking. In my view, and how I could kind of see myself doing this, is I'd like to tell my students and make them a little bit wary surrounding the dangers of social media, surrounding the dangers of fake news, false statements, headlines, however you have it. As a person who is one in the generation to really grow up fully with the internet, I can say that digital literacy was not very high for my educators when I was growing up. And I believe that that circumstance directly impacted not just myself, but my peers. When I was discussing this with some of my fellow classmates, we had some nostalgic ramblings talking a little bit about some of the, let's just say, unsavory sites that we went onto as kids. I can think of stuff like newgrounds.com or Kick, the app, or Omegle. Some of those have recently shut down though, which kind of tells you about its, goodness. However, I think reminiscing about that realized to me that as educators and as preparers for the next generation, it's good to talk about being digitally literate. Staying away from harmful or completely false information is something that anyone needs to know. At this point in the internet age, any person who has a savvy enough mindset can create any type of story, create any type of website, create any scam that they would like. And as people and as preparers for the future, it's good to teach our students to be safe on the internet, but in a means that isn't directly very preachy. Be on the same level as them and talk to them as a means that is as enlightening as it is comprehensible. We don't want to treat ourselves as being above their understanding of the social media age, because by the time we're doing this, there's a high chance that we are actually disconnected from it. It's better to just give them advice than try to, be like, you should stay away from this website, because we might not know everything there is to know about that site. It's just good to warn them. We then move into another facet that I wanted to talk about, which is LGBTQIA+ literacy. To the right here, I have a copy, or I have a picture of a copy of Genderqueer, a memoir. This is an excellent graphic novel, actually, that kind of talks about, as you can tell, LGBTQ+ experiences, life, etc. You guys may be a little bit worrisome in my usage of the word research here. However, I can talk about it and kind of expunge upon it. I had this idea very recently on formulating an assignment which has my students actually going out and researching about LGBTQIA+ artists. As an individual who will likely end up teaching in suburban environments, there's a high possibility that conversations surrounding LGBTQIA+ individuals in the classroom will have been slim to none. However, I want to tear that down. I feel like in our modern socio-political world, LGBTQIA+ individuals need to have a voice when it comes to not just social aspects, but in literary terms. So I'd love to involve a project where my students go out of their way to research an LGBTQIA+ artists, one of their works, etc. And in my classroom, I wouldn't gatekeep them from focusing specifically on just text. I think moving out from there and having them research artists, filmmakers, musicians, performances, etc. would in any way, shape, or form enlighten my students through means that they have maybe never even explored before. I could even let them talk about, LGBTQIA+ content creators like your Dylan Mulvaney's, who are really shining the light on the experience of those individuals in our society. Another one that I want to focus on here is cultural literacy. Now, to the right here, I have a picture of a copy of Mouse, which is the Pulitzer Prize winning book created by Art Spiegelman. With this piece, I directly want to focus on vocalization, giving a voice to the once oppressed. You may be asking me a little bit about Mouse, or you may have heard about Mouse recently because of its current book bannings in some schools, but I think Mouse is an excellent example here of first-hand real accounts of events that in my view need to be added to curriculums or curricula as fast as possible. Mouse is a graphic novel that acts as a retelling of Art Spiegelman's dad's experience in the Holocaust. It details his time before the Holocaust when he saw rising rates of anti-Semitism in Germany. It talks about the rise of the Nazi Party. It talks about his time attempting to escape persecution, his time actually in a concentration camp, and his time afterwards. It is a beautiful literary piece. Is it heavy? Yes, but so is its subject matter. It tells it matter-of-factly. It tells it how it occurs. There's no real level to it treating its audience like they don't understand what is being told. It is giving a voice to individuals who, in modern contexts, have a very difficult time talking about their experiences. We are losing on an annual basis many firsthand and individual accounts of their times or of survivors from Auschwitz. And having a firsthand account well documented in a piece that is not just literary fulfilling, but visually fulfilling, is an excellent resource. A similar book that I discussed in the previous episode is Persepolis. Persepolis was written by Marjane Satrapi as she talked about her experiences being a girl growing up in 1980s Iraq. These are real experiences, and giving them the amount of support and recommendation they need condemns the individuals who are against them. These are the voices of people who have been oppressed, and they need to be studied, and they need to be respected, and they need to be put on a pedestal and above the individuals trying to bring them down. Through vocalizing these individuals, we are directly tearing down the white supremacist patriarchal ideologies which have continued to persist throughout society. In my closing belief, I want to say this. New literacies don't just represent new textbooks in the classroom, they represent a new way of education. They represent a new way of living, and they represent what modern society needs to move into. And it represents what society can be and should be. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this whole series. If you got through all of it, thank you very much. I would like to thank once again my professor, Dr. Staples Dixon, for giving me this platform to speak on these. I'm hoping that you guys learned some stuff from this. Maybe you even learned a few textbooks that, if you are a fellow educator, would like to use in the future. Once again, I will state the comment section can act as a place of discussion. Talk amongst fellow educators, fellow peers. Tell me what you're thinking about what I put together here. And once again, you can follow me on Instagram at Nathaniel the Educator. Thank you very much once again, and hope you have a great remainder of your day.